Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Geek Out Review, the adventure of Die. As usual, I am Alex, and I am joined by Felipe Macedo. Felipe, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. What about you, man?
I am doing great because this week we are reviewing two episodes, episode 20 and 21. And let me tell you, I think they are my favorite so far. I was really impressed with those two episodes, and I really want to do some research because I noticed a change in the drawing um,
Okay.
in this episode. So I don't know if for like especially 20. I think there were like some difference in the way the drawing were made and everything. Um, so I was really impressed. Like I really want to do some more research. I don't know if they change the key art artist for a few episodes or if they brought somebody in. But I thought that the quality of the drawing and the animation and the I would say staging. I don't know exactly what's the term in animation, but basically the
Mm-hmm.
framing of the action, the
Yeah.
framing of the conversation and stuff. Everything kind of stepped up starting from episode 20, and I was like from the first like few frame, I was really impressed, and of course the pacing and storytelling is just as strong as it was in the few past episodes that we did. So all in all, like this week, I am coming in this review with a lot of trepidation. Like I'm very happy. I finished this episode. Like I finished episode 21, and it was one of the first week that I really was like, I need to see the next episode right now. Like I will not wait just before we record to watch them. I want to watch it right now. So it was really nice. So go ahead, your general opinion of those two episodes before we go to the breakdown.
No, I gotta say first that I haven't noticed like the change in their art like you said, but after this podcast I'm gonna check it for sure
Like
because I really didn't notice, but I believe in what you are saying because I really liked it, those episodes. I mean, they're like, for example, you told me like they were your favorite episodes.
yeah.
It's not that I didn't like it. I like it because overall, like, it's like really good to me so far, you know. But like to me they kept it the pacing, you know.
Hmm. Like
Yeah, but I really like the how everything like went. So I guess that we we see a lot of things happening in those two episodes,
yeah,
to
definitely.
say the least.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Uh, I agree with. Let's come back to the drawing for a second. Um,
Okay.
to be more precise in what I thought the change
Mm-hmm.
was in the drawing in this episode is that
Hmm.
for some keyframe, really keyframe in some action scene, you feel like
Mm-hmm.
the drawing were made like handmade, like not digital. Like
Oh.
there is some drawing in these two episodes that remind me so
Uh huh.
much of the Cowboy Bebop Evangelion era of
True.
drawing,
True. Uh
like
huh.
some line broken, not completely finished with the stroke of
Mm-hmm.
a digital pen, more like a stroke of
Okay.
a pen, a pencil or anything. Like I thought,
Mm-hmm.
I just thought there was a touch of human in the drawing this week that I haven't felt since the beginning of the series, because of course it's really digitalized and everything. But yeah, in these two episodes, I like for 1 second I thought I was back in the 80s, 90s anime. Some drawing were just like so beautifully made, like for a quick snap of the frame of the television. It's really some frame really impressed me. For why I think these two episodes are so far my favorite is that because they regroup everything that we talked about uh, so far in the series. So you and me, so far we seems to both like smaller, like tranquiller episode, like where they take time to build a
Yes.
certain character, less action, more talk, more emotional thing. And we also love when in the series the fighting that they do build up for the next thing coming, and I think that these two episodes really made it good. So let's breaking down so I can express you where I
Okay.
find these two episodes to be specifically better than what we saw so far. So we start the episode basically back where we were at the last episode. We just defeated Flamsar. Basically, Dai cut his core. But of
Yeah.
course, Mist Vern will kind of intervene just before Flamsar kind of crumble. And he will say to Flamsar, like, hey, I got this amazing armor here. Do you want to test it?
It's like the ultimate armor, right?
Yeah, exactly. Miss Vern presented like this is the best armor in the Dark Army. This is
True.
plus it goes well with you because it responds to fire and stuff like that. And just before he brings the armor, we really have a nice assembled moment from our hero. Basically, Dai cut the core, and then you have Pop who will shoot a fireball, so he melt the high side, and then the other member, Mom, will shoot a ice cannon ball, whatever. And that's the moment Mist that appears. So I like that little moment where everybody was doing
That's
something,
nice.
and Mom, like especially in this reaction, check the drawing of kind of Mom moving fast to grab her cannon. The drawing is just next level in that sequence. Um, then put the armor, feel the surge of it. I really enjoyed that moment. That moment could have easily been at the end of the last episode and finished basically when Miss Vern is disappearing. But I like that they kept it for the beginning of this one because they kind of have time to build a little bit more how the character feel killing Flamsar and going to that extreme. And I think it started to, how can I say, make everybody in the group think about themselves and what they are willing to sacrifice or do to like succeed
Yeah.
in their mission. Like it was a very important moment, and I'm happy that they kept it for the beginning of this episode instead of cramping it at the end of the previous one.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like this is like of the big bosses that or the generals that you are seeing right now. Basically, and besides Hadlar, he Fladder is the really first one that is gonna be killed. You know, because okay, Hadlar he died I think like already 3 times at least by this time,
Yeah.
and but this like and we had Crocodile that he wasn't killed, and we had Yunkel that he wasn't killed as well, and they both turned into allies. But like Flazer, he's like just pure evil. We know we in the last episode that we recorded, we talked about like the Flazer motivations because he was just created and he didn't have a background like everyone that they have to see, they have to have. So like this was like a human touch point that he had, and and we understood that why he was just like uh, trying to do all these great actions all the time. You know, like this has historical actions all the time. Like why he wanted to be great. You know, but like but in the end, like we see like uh, it's not even touched in the anime. Like they're gonna kill this guy. They're not just gonna, hey, I beat you, so go home and be a family man, just
No,
like
they
Gaio says.
yeah, exactly. They
Yeah,
have to
but
kill him.
yeah, and this is like the real first battle there. I mean, not the real first battle because they already had against Howler, but
It's the
uh,
first that has true consequence.
true, yeah, yeah, basically, yeah,
And yeah, and I love it. And of course, we have a moment. This is the first time I noticed the change in
mm-hmm.
animation. We have basically the moment where Dai will finally understand um, the avant strash or slash or whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna remember, like he's gonna see like the different move that compose that amazing attack. And of course,
True.
we're gonna have a beautiful, beautiful animation of Dai opening his eye, closing his eye, doing the attack,
Mm-hmm.
and just like beautiful, beautiful animation. Like I said, this is where the first time I got like a pop up in my mind saying like, there's something different here with the animation.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed so controlled and so powerful as animation goes, and I haven't seen that so far in the series. So that little sequence was
Mm-hmm.
really, really nice. And of course, Flamzar go down, and Miss Vern is mystically not there. After
Mm-hmm.
that, we got a. Did you want to say something else on that scene before we
Oh,
move on?
no, just when you started talking about the difference in art that this episode they had, I was just like quickly watching like very, very fast,
Sure.
I noticed that for example when Hunkel he was about to attack Flazar, there was like a few new effects that I haven't seen before. Like
Yeah.
it
Right.
was
Yeah. Exactly.
shining more and stuff like that. It was like a real touch they put in this episode because in the end it is a very important episode.
Yeah, 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 definitely. So that's why I want to make some research on these episodes because,
Mm-hmm.
or there was an artist that was working on something else that they just like kind of brought up on this, and his touch is different, or they brought like somebody from the outside, or it was just pure luck that that day the artists were more imaginative and draw something different. So I really want to see who did the key art for this episode because, like you said, a little bit more effect,
Yeah,
and more precise in what it's trying to show us. It's really, really nice.
yeah.
Then
They had a little more of caring in this episode than the
Yeah,
usual.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So now we go to the top of the tower, where Leona is still in her ice coffin. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
is kind of panicking because they thought that when the two tower and Flamzar would die, she would be free. It's not the case. Basically, she is not strong enough now to break the casing from the inside. So they are
True.
trying all sort of thing. Pup is trying fizzle, a fireball, basically. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Die is trying few things. Nothing works. Until I don't remember who, but says like, "Oh, we need really, really hot heat. Like it need to be big." And basically, mom explained that she can put two spell in one bullet, but
Mm-hmm.
it will be too strong for the gun, and she might lose it. And basically, they do it. They put two fireball in one bullet. She shoot the bullet with another freaking amazing drawing of mom posing,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
very, very Ghost in the Shell style pose. It was awesome. It was a beautiful drawing. I
Mm-hmm.
loved it. And Leona ice break, she fall, and of course, who's there to catch her? It's Die. But just before that, I want to come back on when Dai let out his power to make the fireball that will go in the cannon. Um, that scene was just amazing. Again, I'm sorry, I'm gonna come back on the art because
No, no,
they
no, no.
just
It's
they
totally
just
okay.
blew my mind in this episode. But this shot of him, like the close up of his eye with just a symbol over his head, like that was a direct print from the manga with just color over it. The drawing and like the feeling of it was so good, so amazing, and I love that scene because it was really really short, but it made Dai grew so much in like 5 seconds. Basically, the symbol appear, and you have Pop and Mom just saying basically that, oh, he doesn't need to be in danger or angry to use his power. Now he's using it out of love,
Like
out of
freely.
compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah, freely, out of love, out of compassion. And it's a beautiful moment. Like I said, it will make Dai grow very, very fast in just those
Oh
little
yeah.
sentences.
Absolutely.
And it was a very touching scene, like just having them discuss, and Dai is like oh, Pop doesn't have enough magic, he can barely stand anymore. Oops, sorry, I hit the microphone. He can
No,
barely
that's okay.
stand, doesn't have enough magic, and everybody's kind of again stretching out, and in the background you just have Dai uh, bursting out his power, no provocation, no nothing. It was really really nice, a beautiful scene. I loved it. And then we have Leona falling in the arm of Dai. It's a nice nice touch, beautiful drawing again. The light coming from the window, the way they frame Dai
Yeah,
catching
like the
Leona.
setting. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's, it's amazing.
it was just perfect. Um, and then we are, if I'm not mistaken, we finished this episode kind of at a party, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, celebrating, and we see Himkel and Crocodile
Yeah, exactly.
going back to the Dark Armor HQ
Yeah,
to see like what they're gonna do next because of all that.
yeah. Three things that I love about the ending of this, like the last setup of the episode. First of all, the way young Kel comes in front of Leona, saying like, "Hey, I'm a criminal. I've been with the Dark Army and everything. Uh, uh, this is the list of my crime, basically." And Leona
True.
is just, yeah, well, for your punishment, now you will fight for the good and justice and all that. That was a cool scene. This is a predictable scene in a way that, like, we already saw kind of young Kel redemption in previous episodes, so that scene didn't do much for me. It's just basically cemented that, oh yeah, everybody's cool with the fact that young Kel has turned. Um, I love the quick scene between Crocodile and the old man soldier. That scene was cool. I love
Yeah.
that kind of friendship that is developing between those two characters, but because it will come back. Um, like it was a nice cap to this chapter of the story, I will say. Um, and that's why like this episode, I think between those two was the best, and so far is one of my favorite one. uh, I'll put the art aside. um, the beginning with the fight with the armor and everything was a beautiful beautiful send off for Flamzar, was a nice
True.
final
Yeah.
cap on his story, his dream, and the reason why he existed. Also, it gave us finally the beginning of Die the Hero, if I can say that, where he finally understand like the basic principle of his power. So now he can grow to be something else. Like he finally is like the hero level one that he's supposed to be, and he will
Yeah.
grow up from there. I love all the little touch throughout the episode when uh, sorry, with the gun with mom, the reaction that Pop and Mom has of Die, Crest coming in, the small reaction with young Kel and Leona and everybody else around when he comes to excuse himself.
Mm-hmm.
The friendship developing between the old man and Crocodile, the friendship between Crocodile and young Kel, kind of leaving as a companionship for their next
Yeah.
mission. I think
Mm-hmm.
they touch well on emotion, action, storytelling, pacing. I think this episode had the best of everything that we talked before about this. Like the smaller moments were very very beautiful and emotional, and they make the character grew. The action was just beautiful, maybe helped with by that new animation, and
Mm-hmm.
it was well paced where you don't lose a single moment in the episode. So yeah, episode 20 so far, freaking love it, freaking love it.
Yeah, it was a really good episode that we could see, just like you said, like some key moments. For example, like between Crocodile and Hunkel, they are like both they were generals of the Dark Army, and uh, they have this they kind of have this bond because they were bad and now they're good, and they are like a little bit renegade guys, that they like to stay in the shadows. So now they were like in their own quest, and it's understandable. And besides of making it's reasonable what they're trying to do. Like, hey, we're gonna discover what their dark arm they're gonna do now next. And because just imagine, like, if they were all together, the anime would be too easy for everyone. So they had to scare a little bit before they're because we know, not because we already read, but they're just gonna be together in a few moments from now on. But it's nice to see, like, what Dai and his party they are doing this, we're doing that. So it's really nice how Hunkel, he was just like straight to Leona and to everyone there, like, hey, I was the one that brought your kingdom down to ruins, and I can accept any sentence that you want to give me. And she says, hey, so from now on you're gonna live the rest of your days as a disciple of Avan. And that was like so touching. And he just holding tears, and that was like, yeah, that's something that I can fulfill my sentence, and I will live like that from now on. That was really cool. We see that how they are, like, before they were just acquaintances,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose, but now they're like just, yeah, we're in this together. Like,
Yeah.
we're family now, like every single one of them, and just like you said, and Crocodile and the old man, like they were like renegades, and they're just like drinking all that barrel with beer, and Crocodile, because he's a monster, he's a beast. He was like, hey, you know what? You humans do you, I'll do me, and you see that no one is afraid of Crocodile anymore. So they're
No,
like, hey,
exactly. Yeah.
take this. So, like, that is some kind of acceptance that Crocodile, he has to, like, he's between equals now. Everyone's like, uh, they just treat them as one of them, and
Yeah.
that's really nice to see.
That's what I love so much about Crocodile as a character is that he starts as a scary monster
Mm-hmm.
and will become basically the Papa Bear of the group. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's like, it's funny because he's a crocodile, but if he was a grizzly bear, like the metaphor will be so good because a grizzly bear is at
True.
first very very scary. It can rip
Mm-hmm.
you off and shred you as one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like we know that crocodile will become like that pillar that everybody else kind of go around when they need protection,
True.
not knowledge, but kind of that moral center. So it's I love it that we see the seed of that
Yeah.
in this episode. Also, we
Hmm.
forgot two things in this episode. Basically, we were not with the hero all the episode. We got a few snippets with the bad boys in episode 20. Mainly, we got a conversation between Miss Vern and Adlar, basically just talking about the risk and how Dai is progressing and the
Hmm.
treason of Young Kel and Crocodile. So basically, at that point, they take the decision to move the castle. Um,
Hmm.
and it was a nice conversation, like nice short scene because
Yeah.
um, it told us a lot about like the power structure in the Dark Army. Like
Hmm.
even Mist kind of looked down on Adlar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Although he's very very servited and he's gonna serve Lord Vern and Adlar as best as he
Hmm.
can. But you see he's taking him like a bit over the top. So I liked it, and I liked the ending when Young Kill and Crocodile arrive, and it's basically just a hole in the mountain. And also, this episode did some pretty cool comedy a little bit. I loved all the time that Leona was talking. Like Dai was just a drawing at the bottom of the screen with funny expression on his face, like not moving, like always a static picture, but like with
Yeah.
really really funny faces, like and I love kind of the introduction back in the city where Dai is asking tons of question or trying
True.
to say something, and Leona is just like not having a care in the world. So
Mm.
I thought like the comedy was really on point, like for the few times. So again, they really made this episode like some of the best of everything we like about the series so far. So I'm really really
Yeah,
happy.
and there is another stuff that we forgot to say that also we see not I mean in this episode we see a lot of stuff in motion actually that they're at least they're starting now in this episode. For example, the Baran, the Dragon Knight,
Oh yeah, I
he
forgot.
was
Yeah,
like when that older general, like the sorcerer,
yeah,
the beige,
Zebora. Yeah,
he says, "Oh yeah, but Dai he wake up this power
yeah,
in his forehead," and the Baron was like, "What was this symbol? Oh no, it resembles something like something shiny in blue." And he said, "Oh, does it resemble like a dragon?" Yeah, like a dragon. Oh my god, no.
yeah.
So
Baron
Dice
is
is
pissed
not a
off.
hero. So Dice is a dragon knight. So that's why Halana was keeping me away from Die all this time. And so now we see like there is something there going on.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Definitely,
it
there is
seems,
conflict happening in the Dark Army
yeah,
because of that.
and it seems like the next person that Die in his party he's going to see is like Baran
Hmm.
because of that. Like he says to I maybe not in this episode in the episode 21 he says, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna do anything, I'm gonna see Die for myself.
Yeah,
I
basically,
want to see
basically episode
who is this boy.
yeah, basically episode 21 finished with Baron saying, "I'm going now. It's my turn. I'm going to
Yeah, yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
this boy." So yeah, so let's go into episode 21. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
episode 21. Really, really loved it. This is a slower episode. This is one of the episodes that you and I tend to like pretty much,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and this one was no exception. Basically, we have two main story in this episode. We have on one side mom, what's happening with her. She has
Mm-hmm.
some decision to make, some thinking to do, and on the other side we have basically a conflict growing in the Dark Army with the introduction of a new character. We're gonna talk about it in a moment. But let's talk
Mhm.
about her hero and mom more precisely. So basically, the episode start. We are at the after party. We are the night, the day after everybody came
Mhm.
back. We see at the beginning of the episode some Leona is basically healing our closest friend and sorcerer and mages. Everybody's
True.
around, everybody's happy, and everybody kind of start a little bit talking about what is next. Now we've saved the country of Paprika,
Mhm.
and now what is the next thing? So they are looking at maps and stuff like that, and they don't really go into the details. But while they are discussing, mom is basically telling them that she will not go with them. She
Yeah.
feels that everybody is growing too much. So Dai, we already have a fighter. This is Dai. We have Pop, who is our mage. Leona is a very, very, very good healer. So
Mhm.
Mom feel like she has no place anymore in that group, especially with Crocodile and Young Kel kind of leaving. So she has no path that she can follow.
Yeah.
And I loved that episode for that. Like everything that goes around mom, whether it's her indecision, she doesn't know how to feel about it. She doesn't even know how to feel about telling her friend that she feels like that. Um, and also where I was going to go, she doesn't know who she is, what she want to do.
Yeah, and she sees that everyone they have their respective role,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
she doesn't know what she can do without the gun.
Exactly. She
So
she
she was
kind of
like, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, she was like, hey, you know what? I think I have to go a few steps back to be able to walk forward with you guys, And she was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go back to basically, to be able to make a difference for you guys because what I can do right now doesn't add much, and I want to be useful to you guys.
yeah, exactly. So I love that beginning, like the uncertainty that she have, that little scene that
Hmm.
she walk in the village or in the city, whatever, and she hears somebody talking or saying something, and it make her think. Again, the drawing were really beautiful.
Yeah, it
Like
was.
the emphasis on her face, a lot of face shot of mom in this episode. Loved it.
Hmm.
After that, we got a little bit of scene with Pop, Dai, and Leona, kind of wondering like, oh, what we gonna do and everything, and Pop kind of trying to hide this feeling. Leona having none of that bullshit.
Hmm.
Leona seeing right through Pop's emotion. And we
Hmm.
got another beautiful scene. Basically, mom is on the road, got all her pack. She said she's going to this place, meeting some kind of martial artist guru. Basically,
Yeah.
Leona will train to become what Tifa is many many
Hmm.
years later. Um,
Hmm.
and it's funny because I had the same thought about Yunkel at the end of episode 20. When he walks out of the city, it's like Sasuke in the Boruto series, like the
Mm.
lone wanderer outside protecting
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
city. Like I was like, oh yeah, they
Uh-huh.
took Yunkel as inspiration for Sasuke later. That definitely,
Mm.
definitely. But yes, so mom is kind of walking on the path, leaving. Everybody's emotional. Well, again, Dai has like those drawing of simple emotion. It's
Yeah.
really funny how
Hmm.
Dai almost saying nothing in this episode. He's just in the background reacting. Um, but yeah, so Leona is kind of tricking Pop into going and tell his feeling for mom. And it's a funny
Hmm.
and beautiful scene. You go there, start talking nonsense. Then he's just like, "Oh, let me transport you there."
Hmm.
And he put his. I love the scene where he put his arm around her shoulder, and he feel
Yeah.
like she feel like confused, and he feel like he play it like
And we
it's
haven't.
nothing. Like, oh, it's okay,
Yeah.
we're good. And then we got one of my favorite scenes of the episode. They arrive in the forest. Mom is like, "Hey, this is not where I'm supposed to go. This is not where you told me you would bring me." And both of them, like, kind of the same time, like at the same time that Pop has the flashback of that moment in time, Mom has the same realization, and I
Yeah.
find it very beautiful. It's a beautiful scene. So
Yeah, it's a really touching moment, like between between the two of them, and like it's really important. For example, like we see we not only we see and notice, but mom tells Pop that how she sees him, like he was this coward when they first met, and now this is like, hey, this is a man that I really respect, and I wanna to be as good as them, you know. So like we you see that how now how she respects Pop, because before he was like, hey, you coward, just do something, please. We don't want to die here. And now she was like, hey, she's like, hey, you know what? I wanted to be as good as you, as useful as you know. And this is some kind of respect that he didn't have before, and for him to see like, hey, now she respects me, now she sees me as
yeah,
maybe
I,
not as a man, but at least someone that she can rely on.
yeah, exactly. I like you said it perfectly. Is that this scene works so well because because it worked for both character. It is a beautiful send off for Mom. Like, we know a little bit more about how she sees her companion and her friend
Yeah.
and the people around her. This is great. This is cool. Like, okay, you can go now, go practice. But for Pop, that scene is so important, like, as a character growth for Pop. Like, it is,
Absolutely.
because we know that Pop is kind of cocky and, yes, a coward, because he thinks himself not good enough for anything that he does. That has
True.
been kind of his conflict throughout the series. Is basically, I'm not good enough to do that. Why would I even try to do it? Um,
True.
so I rely a lot on that. But at that moment, having Mom telling him, like, no, I see you like a good companion, a powerful mage, a good friend, a honest and loyal man, and blah 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 blah. Like, she put all this on him, and he was there to tell. Like, he had so much difficulty telling her that he loves her because he
True.
feels so inferior to her. And then
Absolutely. Yeah.
she says that, and he take the decision to say, like, you know what, if you see me, if you truly see me like that, I will not tell you that I love you because I need to become that man that you see in me. So it's really nice
Absolutely. Yeah.
because
True.
now Pop realized that the way he see himself and the way he act, it's not reflective of the people that see him. So
Around him.
now
Yeah. Yeah.
he's gonna step up his game. I have the feeling that for the next episode, next encounter and everything, we're gonna have a way more confident Pop on the battlefield and in the story. I think he will grow very, very much from this experience, and that's why I loved this sequence of scene of Mom first telling him, "Hey, I'm going." Him be kind of devastated. After that, struggling with Leona. Oh, am I going to tell her? Not tell her. Going to tell her. Then going and all that scene. I find it really, really nice. These two characters together
Yeah.
had the best downtime together, and I loved it. Episode 21, that part of the story was so nice, so nice. I really, really enjoyed.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely true. I couldn't agree more.
All right, so that brings us to the second part of the episode, um, the Dark Army. So basically, Baran and Zabura will drop in Adlar's throne room or whatever at the beginning of the episode. Baran is just pissed off. He's like everything Adlar is saying, he just bring it down, and he calls basically on the bullshit that Adlar has been telling him for years and years and years about die and everything. And when they are just about to get in a fight, we got the introduction of my favorite ultimate villain of this series. It is Kilvern. Kill is just the best fucking asshole in the whole world. Um, Plus, like, I will not spoil anything, but he has probably the best fight in the series.
True. That is true.
So yeah, you know exactly the one I'm talking about, right? Um, so yeah, so just having the introduction of Kilvern, it's really nice, and also I think it's cool because, just like I said for the previous episode, having missed being there and kind of talking down of Adlar, you understand that Adlar is definitely not the most powerful there. He may be the commander in chief, but he's not the most respected, he's not the most loved or anything, and he's not the most powerful. And now you see people coming in the Dark Army that look and act as if they were way more powerful than Adlar. Kill is
True.
just the greatest example of that. He walked in that room like there is nothing that can touch him. He take control of the situation like that. Everybody like calmed down, even got like almost a little bit scared when he get in the room. Baran missed, Zibora and
Yeah.
Adlar included. So I like that finally in the Dark Army, the dynamic has changed. It's just not anymore the okay. We got the general there. No, we got the general is captain and the army. Now it's like everything is mismatched. First of all, we know that a big part of the army is destroyed. So basically,
Yeah.
we are still left with the dragon army, undead army. No, not even the undead. That was the Unkel. So we got the Kilvern army that we haven't seen yet,
Yeah. Like
Baron
we have
army,
like
and the
yeah.
Mistburn army. Otherwise, everything else has been destroyed. So
True.
we gonna see starting from here, seeing like the captain and the big villain starting to do some cool shit. Um, and I just loved it. And like we said previously, basically the episode will finish with Baran just telling everyone, "I don't care what you're saying. I'm going to see die for myself right now." Guessing that for us, that means that the next arc will be that confrontation between the two of them. Um, and it was so nice. Like, there's no like without getting into spoilers, I cannot say exactly why and like how I love Kill so much. But basically, I love this episode because I'll repeat it again. It just shift the power in the Dark Army, and now we don't know exactly who's the big player, who's going to be
Yeah.
important, not important, and it
It's
gave us a bit of a mystery for the rest of the series. Best analogy I have for this episode in the Dark Army, it's like episode 9 of Game of Thrones season 1, like when Ned Stark got his head off, because
yeah.
before that it was like, oh, Ned Stark is going to be the hero and everybody else is a villain. But then
True.
when
True. True.
when you cut the head of the hero and you're left only with villains, it's like
Yeah.
who is who in that. And
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
this episode was perfect for that. So now we have no idea, like, is it Miss Vern more powerful? Is he
Uh-huh.
the big bad guy? Is it Kill? Is it Adlar? Is it Baran? Is it Zabura who just stay there and say nothing? What do we know about Lord Vern? Because now we have the key to a seal on the wall. So I can't wait to see like how that power will structure itself in the future. I can't wait. It's so cool.
No, yeah, I agree absolutely. Like we thought that we had a clear image of like how they were structured, the Dark Army. But now we're not so sure anymore, and we have to see what Qvern means to like the Dark Army in general. So yeah, it remains to see like what how they're gonna develop that in the later episodes.
Yeah, yeah, and I can't wait. I think the Kilvern chapter like arc in the series is one of the best. Like I said, he will have one of the best fights in the series against a very very compelling hero that
Mm-hmm.
will give everything to beat him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and the story surrounding him and like his army and specifically is so interesting. So yeah, again, I want to see what's gonna come out of this episode. As I want to see more of the new character that we have, and I want to see those old in the big parentheses. I want to see what they're gonna bring to the table in the future. So I want to see a way more of Mist. I want to see Adlar becoming a little bit more of himself in the sense that so far I have the feeling that Adlar is always the punching bag. He's kind of the joke of that.
True.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna send you on the battlefield. You're gonna come back almost dead. We're gonna send you back on the battlefield. Like I really want to see Adlar taking a little bit more decision by himself and taking maybe more risk, but having more
Mm-hmm.
reward on the other side. And I'm excited to see what's the next chapter with Baran will look like if they continue as they are doing so far. If they keep getting better and better at writing, pacing, and drawing their show, I think we're gonna have a very very interesting, I would say, second half of that story. So yeah, I'm eager to see where we're going. Anything else?
Oh
Any
yeah, me
last
too.
thought? Any last thought on those two episodes?
No, no, no. They are like both just great episodes. That in these two episodes they started to put in motion like a lot of stuff that we're going to see in the next episode. So they're like really important foundations for what's coming next.
Yeah, yeah, I can agree more. I can't wait. So that was it, guys. That was a review of episode 20 and 21 of The Adventure of Dai. If you like what we do, please follow us. You can follow me on Twitter at SoSchwank. You can follow Felipe at Macedo Felipe on Twitter also. We are on YouTube. The episode pop every 2 weeks. Quote unquote. I'm doing my best. I was late last one, so this one is coming for everybody like tomorrow. So basically, in the same weekend, you're gonna have two episodes, and then we are coming back on the 2 weeks schedule. So, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.
Ciao.